Thank you po, Ma'am Cynthia. Okay. Pleasant morning to our distinguished participants, CBPA family and guests. It is our pleasure to welcome you here this morning to our fourth-day webinar workshop for the Faculty Development Program entitled Revitalizing the Virtual Teaching and Learning in New Normal and Beyond. So, for our topic for today is intensifying research in business. So, yan, malalaman po natin mamaya kung gaano ka-intense yung magiging research po natin. Okay, once again, good morning po, and we are your hosts for today's webinar. I'm Ana Buenaseda, and I have my partner here, Professor Tess Madagan.
Good morning po, Sir Gapasin. Good morning po, Sir Grant and Sir Mamarado. Welcome po sa ating webinar for today.
Ayan po. So, sa pagsisimula po ng ating program, maaari po tayong yumupo lahat at makinig sa isang panalangin mula kay Dr. Agatha Cabreros.
Ma'am Agida, nakamute ka yata. Hindi ka po marinig, wala pong audio.
Wala pa rin.
Ma'am Cabreros, naka-unmute po yung speaker niyo
Nakamute ka
po.
po, Ma'am Cabreros.
Nabigay ko na po yung video sa kay Sir Opido at kay Sir Ronald po. Sila po yung
Actually,
mag-play.
hindi naririnig, Ma'am Cabreros.
Naka-off po yung mic. Naka-off po. Click niyo po yung mic.
Sa video yun niya.
Ayan po, naka-off. Nakikita po, naka-X. So, click niyo lang po yung mic. Doon sa
Ay, sir, hindi po
presenter.
ako ang nag-share.
Sino nag-share? Ka ba nag-share?
Hindi, ako.
Sino nag-share?
Baka si Sir Opido po.
Ako po, wait lang pa.
Si Jean pala. Okay.
On this fifth day of CBPA Faculty Development Meeting, let us pray and feel the presence of our Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen. God of grace, we open our heart and minds and soul to worship you. Thank you that today we dwell in your kingdom and live in your presence. Thank you that as we gather together, we join with the blessings of the Holy Spirit to glorify your holy name. Come be with us, inspire us, and lead us in your time together. We ask this in the miracle name of Jesus. Amen.
Okay, thank you po, Ma'am.
Name the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, Ma'am Tess.
Okay, para bigyan tayo ng very energetic energizer for today. So may I call my colleagues sa entrepreneurship program, Professor Lourdes Gomez.
Okay po, good
Yes.
morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yan.
Mag-exercise
So,
muna tayo bago tayo magsimula.
yes. Ano po, sinend ko kanina sa GC, syempre, di ba, nahihiya po tayo. So, nakapag-exercise po ba? Na-try niyo po ba yon yung kanina sa GC na sinend ko? Ay, wala.
Hindi pa ba siya?
Pakita mo lang kasi ng
Namin to exercise.
Baka
Lourdes,
bago,
TikTok?
bagong
TikTok ba yan, Lourdes? TikTok?
Hindi po. Okay, sige po dahil katatapos na kumain, bawal daw po, no? Okay, so Ma'am Ann, yung pong aking simpleng energizer.
Ay,
Yan.
na kay Ma'am Jean. Ma'am Jean, paki-play na lang po.
Miss Jean, paki-play.
Yan. Simple lang po ito. 1 to 7 lang na exam. O, di ba, Ma'am Cinch?
Okay. Yes.
Dahan-dahan lang Ma'am Jean.
I believe loading.
Ang ganda, Lourdes, ang ganda. Pinagpawisan ako.
Grabe, pinaghirapan ko pa ito, sir. O,
Ang
sige.
ganda.
Ang ganda pa naman ang katawan ni Sir
Ganda.
David.
Ang
Grabe.
ganda.
Ang ganda,
TikTok na
di ba?
TikTok na ako.
Nakaka-energize.
Ang ganda.
Bakit wala pa? Ano ba yan?
Hindi kasi
Ganda.
kayo
Ganda
sumayaw.
naman.
Grabe.
Pinagpawisan ako, kakahintay. Ang ganda.
Pasensya na po. Wala kasi akong laptop kaya hindi ko may share.
Joke lang, joke lang.
Kaya sinend ko yung pauna kanina doon sa GC para sana natagtag. Ganon. Yan.
Okay.
Yan.
Ayan na, sa wakas, sir. Ito na. Okay po. So, repeat after me po. No? So, I'm well.
I'm
Pakisabi na lang po.
well.
Yes. I'm alive.
I'm alive.
Five.
I feel great.
I feel
Great.
great.
And at least. So, next po, yung ating po yung aking brainstorming, tatawagin po natin siyang brain blenders. Yan.
Next slide po, Jean.
Apo, next slide po. Brain blenders po. So, 1 to 7 po yan. Okay? So, kung sino po makaka-perfect, so may 100 pesos na GCash. As I'm ballpen.
Wow.
Kaso, sa ano pa yan? So, honorarium daw.
Tagal pa yun.
Okay, sige po. Next slide po. Brain blenders po ang tawag dyan. Okay, so, uhula lang po natin kung ano po yung ibig sabihin po niyan. Yan. Me, repeat.
Temperate.
Wrong.
Ang galing ni Sir.
Wrong po.
Hello.
Jumble words ba yan? Letter?
Opo.
Scrambled words.
Scramble words po. Sige po, may
Meron
100
siyang
pesos
missing,
yan pag perfect.
letter.
Yes, may meaning.
Temperature. Temperature.
Walang letter U.
Parang katulad ng ginawa ni Jackie. Egg plus plant, eggplant. Ganyan. Okay.
Yun ay addition.
Yes.
Ito hindi. Scramble. Okay po. Sino po?
Me, repeat.
Me,
Parang
repeat.
kay Lourdes. Anong ginawa natin kanina kay Lourdes? I'm alive, I'm well, I'm happy.
I feel great. Ganon.
I feel
Ano
great.
sinabi ko po kanina?
Repeat after me.
Yan.
Repeat.
Wala pong
Repeat.
100 na ako.
Lourdes, repeat.
Repeat after me. Okay, next.
Repeat after me. Okay, next slide po. Yan po yung sagot. Okay, so next po. Yan.
Reading between the lines.
Reading between the lines.
Okay po, next.
The line.
Yan po, LOV. Ano po yan? Sige. Yung mga umiibig po.
Love you.
May bisikleta.
Wala nang makakawanhan. Ay, si Sir pala kanina. Ay, wala rin kasi 7 yan eh. Okay? Ano po?
May bicycle na love.
Ano yan, love our voice?
Naku, wala.
Sing
Ano
it.
po? Anyone po?
Yan.
English po yan. Ano po?
Wala pang mga clue.
Walang may parang hindi pa nag-almusal. Ano ba yan?
Iba nga.
Sabi nyo kanina, you feel great. Ako. Okay, sige po, dahil wala pong
Hirap.
Okay.
Reveal the answer.
Okay, so yan po ang tamang sagot.
Endless love.
Endless love. Yan. Okay, so next po. Next. Ano ba yan? Parang katulad lang ng research.
Once upon a time. Once upon a time.
Once upon a time.
Wow, galing.
100 ako, Lourdes, ha?
Wala na. Sayang 100.
Sa honorarium pa sa Gcash.
Okay.
Upside down.
Upside down.
Yan, very
O,
good.
dalawa na.
Dalawa na.
100.
Ano
200.
po yan?
Kailangan natin
Next
ng
po.
pera.
Sa honorarium na daw.
Okay.
Ano yan?
Ano naman po
Eggs.
yan?
Many eggs.
Scramble egg.
Scrambled egg.
Scramble egg.
Scramble eggs.
Ah, galing, galing.
Yan.
Pagkain talaga.
Scramble eggs.
Ang dami na
Itlog, ang galing.
Okay,
Hernan.
next.
MC, ano yan? MC Hammer. Joke. Ano yan?
Yan po. Last na po yan. Last.
Nursery rhymes. Na, na, na.
I miss you.
Ay, miss you. Walang... kanta po yan. Kanta.
Sino naman may anak? Nako, hindi kayo nagturo ng anak niyo?
Wala sa pahele.
Nursery ba yan?
Nursery rhyme. Nursery rhyme.
And mice.
Spider.
Insty
blind
Wincy
mice.
Spider.
Three blind mice. Three blind mice.
Ano ba? Three blind
Yes.
mice. So, nawawala yung
Yan,
blind
the
mice.
three blind.
Ang galing ni Ana.
Yes.
Galing talaga.
Thank you po.
Okay, thank you.
Yan po yung energizer
So,
namin.
Ana.
Ma'am Lourdes, wag mong kalimutan yung GCash. Charot.
Wala pong naka-perfect. Ano ba yan?
Ay, oo nga
Parang
pala.
perfect,
Pag perfect.
7 lahat
ha?
yun
Yes,
eh.
7.
Hindi mababawasan ang honorarium mo, ma.
Kaya nga. Handa ko pa naman yun. Talagang... Sige po. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma'am Lourdes.
Thank you, Ma'am Lourdes.
Ayan. So, ayan. So, siguro naman medyo na-trigger yung ating mga brain cells. Okay? Na-activate yung mga brain cells natin. Okay. So, that's all for our Energizer. Now, to formally begin this seminar, I would like to invite our very own Vice President for Research, Extension, and International Affairs, and also the Chairman for Bids and Awards Committee, none other than the man of action, yan, Dr. Grant B. Kernel, to deliver his welcome remarks. Sir, the spotlight is yours.
Okay, thank you very much, Ana.
Welcome, sir.
This is really a very short notice. Pero pag research naman ang pinag-usapan, lagi namang ready si Sir, no? We started research in IRIS in 2010. Kasi during those times, ako yung director ng research. And I'm glad that I have created champions in the colleges. One of the champions that I created is your Dean, Willie Gapasin. Kahit na hindi ko sinusupervise yan, alam ko na yung research ay in place sa college niya. Another one is Dr. Bolalin. Another one is Engineer Mamaradlo during his time as a faculty in engineering. Now, we are in the transition. So si Dr. Mamaradlo ay naging director na at ipinagpatuloy pa rin niya yung advocacy namin ni Dr. Mendoza during that time. Kaya hindi tumitigil yung research. At isa sa mga nag-resist nung aming requirement for PBB ay ang college nyo. But I'm very happy that sooner after that first year natin na medyo sapilitan yung pagsasubmit, later ay nakita nyo yung kahalagahan ng research. Lalo na yung mga nakinabang sa NBC, no? So kung makita po natin, naging mature na yung research culture ng IRIS. So with your dean as the champion in your colleges, then we have another champion in the CAS, College of Arts and Science, in engineering. And during that time, ako yung champion sa CIT. Kaya lang, nung na-promote na ako, nawala bigla ang CIT sa Limelight. Sana may pumalit. Yun yung nagiging problema natin nung nawala na yung nag-advocate sa kanila. Hindi na nila na-sustain yung pag-ano ng research. But your college, talagang hanggang ngayon, pag tumawag ako o nagbigay ako ng mga invitasyon, makikita natin na nandiyan yung participation ng colleges. And yung mga naalala ko noon na mga nag-tutor pa ako ng konti, ay hindi na natin kasama. Diba? Sila, yung mga namayapa na natin kasama na naalala ko na very obedient din doon sa mga requirements. At yung iba dyan, nakasama ko pa, pumunta kami ng Baguio, pumunta kami ng Aklan. Natutuwa naman ako dahil Ngayon, kahit na hindi ko na kayo pilitin, kusa ng nag-a-apply at sinusuportahan. The very thing na nagawa po namin ay yung masuportahan tayo financially both in international and local and national research conferences. Maski po hindi na ako nagagalit para mag-submit kayo, di ba? Patuloy na nagsasubmit yung mga teachers, patuloy na nag-advocate ng research. During my time as Director of Research and as Vice President right now, nakagawa kami ng 2 organization. Yung isang organization ay kung saan tayo ay nag-host ng International Research Conference in 2018 at matagumpay yon. Of course, sa tulong ng mga Iristians, mga faculty researchers natin. The other one is a national organization na tinayo ko na for hospitality and tourism. Right now, I'm a permanent board of director of that organization. Ngayon ay naging national na from north to south, may mga miyembro na kami. I'm very glad na nagawa namin yung organization na yon. Ang problema, mismo ang IRIS hindi kasama doon. Wala po tayong participation kasi during that time, nagbago yung dean. Yung dean ngayon medyo hindi siya, may research din. Kaya lang pero parang hindi siya nakasama doon sa grupo. No? In fact, ako yung founding member, tapos ang eskwelahan ko hindi kasama. Sana one of these days, makasama na namin yun sa Philippine Tourism and Hospitality Research Consortium. Kasi yon ginawa namin para sa tourism and for HM, no? Kaya lang hindi nga sila kasama. Sana sumama na sila doon. Kaya kung makikita po natin yung bunga ng effort ng grupo namin, Dr. Mendoza, ako, Engineer Mamaradlo, yung ating presidente during that time, ay nagbunga naman ng magandang research culture sa buong kolehiyo. Kaya ako, wala naman akong hinihiling sa inyo dahil ituloy nyo lang yung ginagawa natin kasi yan na yung way of life ng isang educator. Ngayon naman, ang inaasikaso ko naman ngayon ay ma-publish tayo sa Scopus Index. At present, right now, meron akong 3 research na na-publish sa Scopus. Yun ang aking venture ngayon kung paano natin gagawin yun. Kasi bago ko i-share sa inyo yon, ang ginagawa ko, ako muna yung umaapak. Nauuda lang ako. Ngayon, may mga nakakausap na kami ni Engineer Mamarado dyan. One of these days, baka himukin ko kayo na yung inyong mga research ay ma-publish din natin. Kundi sa Scopus Index, maski sa Web of Science. So far ngayon, makakatawid ako ng professorship because of that. So ang iniintay ko na lang pagbukas uli ang TUP, yung NBC evaluation nila. Kaya pag nagawa natin yon, dadami ang professor natin. Kasi right now, nag-congest kami doon sa Associate 5 na position. Samantalang maraming professor items na bakante. Kaya hindi tayo makatawid. It is because kulang tayo ng mga research na nasa Scopus Index or Web of Science. So right now, yun yung aking pinagsisikapang tingnan kung paano yung ginagawa ng ating kapitbahay, ang PUP, at saka ng TUP, kung paano yung ginagawa nila. At isang araw siguro ma-share ko na sa inyo bago ako mag-retire para pag nandun na tayo, di ba, kahit iwanan ko na kayo dito, sigurado makakatawid kayo sa professorship. Kaya this morning, kung meron kayong mga research na gito, ano nyo lang yan, practicing nyo lang. Again, I remember one thing na sinabi ko sa mga faculty ng CBA nung they were required to submit. Alam ko namang one week ang pangalan ko sa FB, maraming nagagalit during that time. Pero sabi ko, research is difficult because we are not used to do this. It is difficult because we are not used to do this. Pero ngayon, you are used to do this, hindi po mahirap. Kasi mismo, yung inyong din minsan 3, 4 na ulit Dati lumalabas ng bansa yan. Nag-percent. Hindi ko na po yan pinipilit. And some of you kasama niya. Diba, latest ata, meron kayo, alam ko with this year, apat yung
Yes,
pinirmahan
sir.
ko, apat
Apat po
yung
kami.
pinirmahan ko na international
Opo.
conference. At lahat naman po yun ay pag dumaan sa akin, sinusuportahan ko naman yung pinagtatanggol ko nga kay President yon. Sabi nga sa akin ni President, bakit apat-apat kagad to? So kung college natin yan, 50 ang ating pangako sa, edi isa na lang ang pwede sa kanila, ma'am. Wala naman pong problema kung ganun ang gagawin natin. Pero kung wala na pong mag-a-apply, di ba, hindi pwedeng pigilin, ma'am, yung mga tao na gusto mag-research. Kasi I allotted 5 researchers a year per college to go outside although ang tawag nga natin online, pero international yon. Ang CBA naka-4. So sabi ni ma'am sa akin, isa na lang. Ma'am, wala naman pong problema kung ganun ang gagawin ko. Pero pagdating po ng last quarter at hindi pa po ako nakakota, i-invite ko na po lahat yan. Hindi na po tayo mamimili kung anong college po yan. So right now, nakikita ko na ba ng suporta ng college nyo? Kasi mga kapatid sa research, tandaan po natin to, kasama po sa ating CNA ang research. Pag hindi po tayo naka 75%, di ba? Hindi po tayo makakakuha ng CNA natin. Kaya yung isang college diyan nagrereklamo at yung advocacy ng kanyang dean ay itigil ang research. Ang husay Sabi ko, payag ka ba na pag kumuha kami ng CNA, di ka kasama? Hindi naman daw. Huwag mo tigilan. Kasi right now, ang gagawin natin, pag walang participation ng college, di ba, magiging kulelat kayo sa ranking. Yun po yung ating titignan. So marami po kasing tinatamaan yung research na akala nila kapritsyo lang namin. Hindi po. Yung ating pong PBB. Ngayon sa 2021 ay inaasikaso na nila yung PBB. Kasi marami po tayong lapses in last 3 years. No? Hindi po tayo nakatanggap ng PBB. Pero this time, nagsisikap po sila na makatanggap tayo yung 2021. Yung 2021, natatanggap po yun ng 2022. So, kaya ngayon, ito yung ating ginagawa ngayon para po sa PBB, sa CNA natin. At sa ranking, pag kami ng methods of ranking, yun yung number 1 na isisingit ko. Sasabihin ko sa grupo, pakibilang nyo yung participation ng college as one of the basis for ranking. Kasi ang pangit naman na, college nyo, kayo yung bumalikat para maka 75%, yung iba walang ginawa. Tapos pare-parehas lang ang matatanggap. So hindi na ako papayag. Diba? Nakikita ko kasi yung ang nag-i-effort kasi 3 college lang talaga ang malakas ang effort. Kayo, CAS, engineering. Kaya titignan lang po natin yung mga natin, no. Kaya sa akin, ginagawa natin to para sa inyo, hindi po para sa akin to. Sooner or later, I will step down as your Vice President at sana ko kukuha ng understudy, tandaan nyo, sa inyo rin. Kung sino yung mag-advocate, kung sino yung makikita ko na magpapatuloy nung trabaho na iiwanan ko, I will recommend those people na pumalit sa akin at pumalit doon sa directorship ng research. So, maganda po to yung ginagawa natin. Natutuwa nga po ako na bago ako mag-retire, nakita ko yung culture ng research ay nasa iris na po talaga. Kaya ngayon naman, pataasin na lang natin yung antas. No? So siguro, bago ako mag-retire, ay po-format natin yung setup kung paano tayo makakapag-publish sa Scopus Index Journals. So, magandang araw po sa ating lahat. At sana po maging matagumpay itong ating seminar na to. At alam ko naman na lahat naman kayo interesadong gumawa ng research, no? Kaya sana tuloy-tuloy lang po to kahit na po na wala na po tayo sa serbisyo. Sana pag nakita-kita tayo, balitaan na lang natin research. So maraming salamat po sa inyo at magandang umaga sa lahat ng CBA faculty and students. Okay po.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you, Sir Grant. Thank you for very amazing and inspiring remarks. Nakaka-inspire gumawa ng research. Okay? So, thank you, Dr. Grant. So, moving on to our webinar for today. So, to give us a rationale. So, it's my honor and pleasure to introduce to you also a man who have also many accomplishment pagdating sa kanyang office. Okay, so it's my pride to introduce the very approachable and very friendly, the Director of Research, Engineer Rogelio Mamaradlo. Sir, virtual applause, Engineer Mamaradlo. Hi, sir.
Hi, sir.
Hi,
Good
ma'am.
morning po.
Morning, sir.
Hi,
Morning,
miss
Sir
na kita,
Willie.
sir.
Morning po.
Good morning,
Good
sir.
morning po, sir. Good morning po.
Good morning sa lahat. So first of all, good morning lalo na sa ating minamahal na Vice President, Dr. Grant. So siguro without Dr. Grant, hindi talaga magmumupang research from the start kasi talagang together with Sir Eric, sila talaga yung natin, ang mga tatay natin sa research na talagang nag-establish na hanggang ngayon talagang sinabing research, establish na talaga yung system, di ba? So, siguro...
Sir Mamaraldo, medyo madilim yung nyo. Di namin kayo gano'ng makita, sir.
Oo
Di
nga
namin
eh.
makita yung kagwapuan nyo, sir. Madilim.
Ano ba? Maglilipat ako ng pwesto sa ilaw.
Sayang, sir. Kamukha nyo pa naman si Derek Ramsey, sir.
Thank you, Thank you. Thank you.
Ang ganda-ganda ng moderator, sir, oh. Ganda-ganda ng
Medyo
moderator.
madilim yung ilaw. Ayan yan, medyo maliwanag na ng konti. So,
Sir, malabo pa rin, malabo.
Ano, you face,
Mabilis daw ilaw.
you face the sunlight, sir.
Pumayag ni Sir David na hindi klaro ang ano.
Oo.
Yan, lahat ng ilaw, sinindihan ko na.
Yan!
Maliwanag na ba yan, sir? Maliwanag na ba yan?
Oo, sir.
Parang malabo pa rin.
Okay na.
Okay na yan,
ilaw,
sir.
Oo. So yun nga, first, congratulations to Sir Willie. So, syempre, pinaka-rationale natin is sa capability building ng faculty. So, especially sa research, no? So, ang maganda kasi sa department nyo is yung dean mismo is talaga, no? Nagre-research and, di ba? Talagang uma-attend ng mga seminars. Pag in-invite ko si Sir Willie, oo kagad yan. Tapos nagpapadala ng mga faculty members. And recently, nagpadala nga kami ng mga nag-present, no? Dun sa one activity na in-invite ko si Sir Willie. So talagang supportive yung college nyo. And when it comes sa development naman ng research, so sinabi na ng ating VP na talaga namang when it comes to support, nandun lahat, including yung sa financial na aspect, talagang sumusupport ang research. Walang pinipili, kahit sino pwede. Na wala tayong pinipili. Actually, in-invite nga natin lahat. Kaya naman natin padala lahat kung gusto nila talaga ng mga faculty. And to support nga yung capability building, i-announce ko na rin sa inyo na meron tayong incoming na 3 capability building seminars na invited kayo. Number 1, yung instructional material development, yung paggawa ng module. Kasi we are thinking na magkaroon ng standard ng module ng IRIS talaga.
Yes.
No? Para hindi kayo mahirapan. So yun ang inaasikaso namin ngayon. Naghahanap kami ng magaling na resource speaker. At saka kino-conceive na namin yung itsura nung Although hindi naman namin totally area sa research. So, kaya lang napansin namin na wala naman din umaaksyon. Kaya we think na tulungan yung faculty. Kaya magpo-provide kami ng capability building for that. Tapos number 2, yung mga hindi pa nagpe-present, meron tayong another seminar for that. Paano mag-present, ano dapat i-ready. So para yung mga instructor natin na bagong pasok, including yung mga temporary, ma-encourage sila. So we will be having isa pang seminar para dyan. And yung pangatlo, yung pinaka-importante, para maging professor kayo, yung how to publish. Paano mag-publish, paano malalaman kung predator or unique at pwedeng mag-publish doon. Paano yung proseso. So meron din tayong dyan, capability building. So may na-invite na ako, nag-yes na siya. Meron siyang 26 Scopus publication. So yung magiging, opo, tapos willing siya na tulungan tayo. In fact, i-mentor niya raw tayo. Paano mag-publish. Para makatawid po kayo, gaya na sinabi ni Doc Ran, para makatawid tayo from ASOPRO to professor item. Tsaka mataas po ang puntos ng pag nag-publish ka. Tsaka nag-present. So, I'm encouraging you na abang nandito kami ni Sir, i-take advantage natin. So, yun yung mga naka-ready natin na capability building. Tapos, meron tayong may invitation ako sa inyo to present. Sinend ko kay Sir Willie at sa research coordinator nyo. Sana mag-present tayo kasi sabi nga ni Sir Brad, part talaga siya ng CNA. Gusto man natin pagbigyan yung iba na nahirapan mag-research, kaya lang wala tayong magagawa kasi requirement po talaga siya. Kasi MF po siya, one of the major final output talaga ng institution is research. Lagi po siyang hinahanap, including sa AO25 para magka-PBB, para magka-CNA. Lagi pong nire-record ng research. Kaya wala po tayong magawa doon sa iba na nakikiusap na, di ba? Kaya wala talaga wala tayong choice. So, tulungan na lang natin sila para ma-encourage sila, and at the end of the day maisip nila na hindi sila mapopromote kung hindi sila mag-present at saka magpa-publish at hindi sila magiging professor. Kasi po na kasi sa mindset nila na na mahirap, na hindi posible po yun, kaya po natin gawin yun. Ang lang i-capacitate natin yung sarili natin. So ang research lagi po nandiyan na to do that. And especially nandiyan si Sir Willie na nag-encourage din sa mga na mag-research ang mga faculty. Kaya congratulations to Sir Willie at saka sa buong faculty members. Alam nyo ba na ang unang-unang nag-submit ng research output sa department nyo po sa CBPA? Kayo po yung unang-una, for the record. Nagulat nga kami, di ba? Biglang dumating sa office namin at nag-submit ang mga faculty ng CBPA, kaya congratulations kasi tingin ko baka sa inyo pa unang maging mga professor, no? Dahil talagang gustong-gusto nyo na mag-submit at isang step na lang, publication na lang kasi marunong na tayo mag-present. Publication na lang, capacitate natin sarili natin. Tapos magpa-publish tayo sa Scopus, Web of Science, and Elsevier. May tutulong po sa atin, may magme-mentor po sa atin. And with that, maraming salamat for the invitation, and lagi po nandito yung research office para with the leadership of our Vice President. Lagi po kami nandito para tulungan po lahat ng faculty at lalo na yung mga interesado. With that, thank you very much po, and mabuhay po kayo lahat.
Sir, pwede magtanong?
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Pwede magtanong kay Sir Memaraldo?
Sige, sir, magtanong ka po.
Okay. Sir, since research is a major criterion for professorial item, NBC 461 should be done continuously, regularly, or annually, so that every deserving faculty should earn the promotion yearly.
Yes.
My question is this will be done regularly, yung NBC 461 evaluation? Kasi minsan may interruption, minsan may moratorium, sir. It should be done regularly, annually, so that any qualified and deserving faculty to be promoted will earn that particular professorial item as long as he is qualified and complying with the research annually. Yun lang po.
I agree, sir. Actually, baka si Sir Widi, ako din, na-delay din ng si Ma'am Manalad. Lahat tayo na-delay talaga yung mga promotion natin due to medyo naiwanan kasi tayo nung nag-assume kasi ng post si Doc Pilio, cycle 1 pa lang tayo eh. So, di ba? Kaya maraming cycle yung inabol natin. But unfortunately, inabot tayo ng COVID, kaya nahinto yung pagpa-process. I hope, pag okay na, dire-diretso na yan, sir. At makahabol tayo kasi di ba cycle 8 na. So, ibig sabihin, 3 cycle yung hindi natin na-enjoy. Imagine niyo kung updated tayo, malamang lahat tayo matataas yung item, but unfortunately, inabot tayo ng pandemic. So, hopefully, matapos yung pandemic. Actually, ready na yung nagpa-final na lang sila sa DI. Ang problema lang talaga, walang contact dun sa TUP, hindi pa rin sila pumapasok, kaya hindi masikaso yung natin. But hopefully, matapos ang pandemics, dire-diretso niyan at makahabol tayo sa cycle B.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That is what I want to drive at, Sir Mamaraldo, na because of the trigger moratorium or suspension of the NBC 461, marami pong na stock, no? So
yes,
stagnant. So like in my case, sir, no, I have participated in international research thrice, 2017, 2018, saka this year. So I do hope that by next year, in my cycle 7, where I officially belong, I should earn another round of promotion. Yun lang po, sir.
Tama po yun, sir. Ihintayin po natin yung mga na yan. Maibalik na at ma-promote lahat tayo. Yun lang naman po talaga pag-asa natin. So continue presenting and publishing para maka-earn tayo ng matataas na puntos.
Kompleto po yung papers ko, sir. Kompleto po yung mga papers ko. At saka pati din ang thesis advisor, saka PCB advisor.
Yes. Tago po natin yan, sir. Thank you.
Sir, may tanong lang ako, Sir Mamarado.
Yes, sir.
Pwede ba akong makahingi noong certification na nag-present ako dyan sa atin locally? Nung kay Ma'am Myrtle dati, nag-present ako sa locally ng
Colloquium.
Yes, sir. Last year po yung research colloquium.
Opo, sabay tayo dun, Sir Joel.
So,
si Ma'am
nakapag-present
Ana.
po si Sir Joel.
Saan yung sir? Sa CAS o sa ano?
Sa CAS po.
CAS yun, sir. Colloquium.
Sige, coordinate natin sa kanila. O coordinate ko sa ano nila. Oo, sige. Bigay niyo yung pangalan, Sir Willie. Mga pangalan
Yes,
ng
sir.
faculty.
Dalawa po yun, sir.
Sige, sir. Opo. Papagawan natin, sir.
Okay, thank you,
Okay,
sir.
may points din yun sa ating cycle.
Oo, meron yun. Meron yun, sir. Meron yun.
Okay.
In fact, meron tayong may another research colloquium tayo, yung kagaya din ng dati na yung mga hindi nakakapag-present sa labas, pwede mag-present sa loob and they can earn points. Okay, pero unahin natin sa labas, mas mataas ang puntos doon eh.
Apo. So, hingi na lang po ako ng certification, sir.
Yes, sir,
po.
yung pangalan bigay niyo sa akin, tapos yung event, tapos i-coordinate ko sa CAS.
Opo, meron po namang invitation card na binigay sila online. So, yun yung setup na lang. Opo.
Sige. Ayusin natin yan.
Okay, thank you po.
Okay, clarification ako doon sa tanong ni Dr. David. Ang NBC po natin ay by 3 years, hindi po annual, by 3 years. So kung by 3 years po ang bawat cycle natin, kailangan po itago nyo maigi yung mga certificate nyo. Minsan, naiwawala nyo because sa loob ng 3 taon ay hindi nyo po naiingatan. By 3 years po kasi ang per cycle. Pangalawa po, meron po tayong ceiling doon sa mga points. Tingnan nyo maigi, baka naman ceiling na kayo sa local. Baka kailangan nyo mag-international na lang. Yun po yung isang tinitignan natin. May mga item po na meron lang pong ceiling points. Pangatlo po, yung pong professorship ay magagrant lang sa inyo kung meron na po kayong publication sa Scopus Index, CHED accredited, or Web of Science, o kaya yung mga kilalang mga Kahit na po umattend po kayo ng international at nakapag-publish kayo international, kung wala po silang Scopus Index, hindi rin po kayo tatawid sa professorship. Yun po yung requirement ng Hindi po basta nakapag-publish, dapat po nakapag-publish sa Scopus Index journals. Yun po lang yung clarification natin. Kaya marami na po kami na-publish. Sad to say, during the evaluation, nakita nila hindi Scopus Index, kaya hindi kami makatawid-tawid sa professorship. Kaya po, kinaklarify ko lang po, baka magkaroon tayo ng misconception, hindi po ganoon. Hindi po annual ang evaluation. Per 3 years po ang evaluation ng NBC po natin. Pangalawa, tingnan nyo po, baka ceiling na po kayo sa points. Di ba? Pangatlo, para makatawid po kayo ng professorship, kailangan po ay Scopus Index ang publication. Yun lang po yung clarification ko sa inyo.
Okay, thank you, sir. Noted po.
Okay, so thank you, sir. So I just hope na ma-reach natin ang goal sa paggawa natin ng quality research. Yan, para naman magkaroon tayo ng mga international research or presentation. Okay, now I would like to call our program chair for entrepreneurship, Dr. Cynthia Manalad, to introduce our speaker. Ma'am Cynthia.
Okay, thank you so much. Naririnig po ba ako, Miss Ana?
Yes po.
Yes po. Okay, it is my honor and privilege to introduce our guest speaker for today. He is an experienced advisor with a demonstrated history in working in business and education management industry. Skilled in e-learning, customer service, marketing strategy, instructional design, and of course, our topic for today, research. A strong professional with a doctor and master in business administration. A bona fide graduate of Bachelor in Business Administration, major in marketing. A true-blooded scholar ng bayan from Polytechnic University of the Philippines, and Eloy Amang Rodriguez Institute of Science and Technology. Presently, he is our Dean, the College of Business and Public Administration. He is a professorial lecturer in other private university in Metro Manila and founder of Association of Innovative Business Academic Professional Incorporated. With humble beginnings as marketing coordinator, sales associate, registrar staff, chief of staff, and assistant to the dean of the graduate school. He is a former Sangguniang Kabataan chairman, a licensed professional teacher, and a civil service eligible. An advisor of students' organizations such as Young Marketers Association, Junior Marketing Society, Management Society, Iris College Y Club, and Federation of Graduate School Student Council. A business expert by distinction, a public servant by heart, his passion and energy seem to know no bounds in research. He has proven to be committed to both academic, public, and business world. Ladies and gentlemen, our CBA family, and with our distinguished guest, without further ado, our speaker for today, our very own Dean, Dr. Willie Olgapasin.
Okay, thank you so much, Dr. Cynthia Manalat, for a wonderful words of introduction. Ayan, so I would like also to thank, of course, the presence and support of our Vice President for Research Extension and International Services, Dr. Grant Cornell, and also the Director of Research and Production Development, Engineer Mamaradlo. Ayan. So indeed, I'm very grateful to have mentors like Sir Grant, Dr. Mendoza, and Dr. Sabas. So they are the one who actually influenced me to do research, okay, from time to time. And so for today, let me share my slide. Wait lang po. Okay, so for today, our topic is all about intensifying research in College of Business and Public Administration. Okay, from the word itself, intensifying. So I actually asked some of the faculty members a while ago, they told na gaano daw ba ka-intense yung paggawa ng research. So parang natakot sila, 'di ba? Na parang nakikita nila na once we do research, mahirap. Okay, so yun yung mga sort of, let's say, hesitation for most of the CBA faculty members to do research. So hopefully this topic will inspire and motivate them to do research periodically. Okay, so from the word itself, periodically, so it means not only for compliance sake, diba? So not only for PVP, diba? Yung proportionate vacation pay natin that we are required to submit, of course, one research output every year. So hopefully this topic will be able to encourage everyone to appreciate doing research. And hopefully, sabi nga ni Sir Mamaradlo at saka ni Sir Grant, hopefully after this research, you'll able to present your research output in national and international research forum, or diba, someday your name will be published in the national or international research journal. Ayan. So hopefully ma-inspire po talaga tayong gumawa ng research. Ayan. So to continue with, okay, the outline of my presentation composed of the organization, the agenda, production, review, dissemination, publication, utilization, and application, linkages, and lastly, the research helping tools. Ayan. So, given, of course, from this webinar, okay, we have this learning objectives. Okay, first one is the CBA faculty members will be able to expose to the current and relevant information about the development of or the development in the field of research. And second is you'll able to develop your skills in planning, designing, and undertaking a small-scale research project. And lastly, you'll able to train in writing the results of research project in ready to publish format. So some of you have already presented and published your research output in the National Research Journal, but hopefully after this webinar this year, by end of this year, your research output will be published in the International Journal. Yan, hopefully nga yung Scopus na sinasabi ni Sir Grant. Ayan, so to start with, of course, let me define first what is research. Okay, research is the generation and adaptation of new knowledge through the application of scientific methods. Okay, so we have two variables in the definition of research, which is number one, the generation. So as to the word generation, it means, of course, discovery of new learnings, creation of new products. Okay, but with the words adaptation, it's all about validation and acceptability of existing theories, or let's say acceptability of new program, or let's say a new policy. But of course, we need to follow the word scientific method wherein there is a step-by-step process in doing research. Ayan. So let's continue with an activity. So kindly visit the menti.com. Ayan. So this is the code 3399218. So I have questions. So why do faculty members need to do research? So I have 4 choices. So let me know what is your primary reason. Diba? Why do we need to conduct research? Okay, so pa-visit lang po dun sa mendy.com. So, in-apply ko lang po what we have learned yesterday, di ba? So, hopefully you'll able also to apply this, di ba, from your teaching this coming first semester. Ayan, pa-visit lang po. Okay. So, let me check kung ano po yung result. Ayan, so as of now, okay, how many? Dalawa pa lang po yung nagsasagot. Okay, what about the others? Ayan, so who else? So only 3 pa lang po. Okay, pasagot lang po. Yan, so namumuna yung productivity, the reason of become productive. Okay, who else? So we have 4 na. Okay, what about the others? Okay, pasagot lang po. Okay, hintayin nating maka 10 para at least we could determine among these choices, di ba, which among those are the top reason why do faculty do research or conduct research. Okay, so we have 5. Okay. Okay, pasagot lang po. So 6 na. Okay, 7. Yan, so may sumagot na update teaching. Okay, 3 more. Okay, so I'm waiting po. Okay, ayan. So, 2 more na lang po. Okay, 9. Just 1 na lang for us to determine which among these 4 reasons why do faculty conduct research. Okay, 1 more. Okay, so we need to explore, di ba, yung what we have learned yesterday. The menti.com. Ayan. So, okay, so we have 10 now. So 11 na. Ayan. So among these choices, okay, the number 1 is productivity. The reason for us as a faculty members to do research is for us to become productive. Okay, tama naman po yung reason na yun that we need to be productive. Diba? In a way, paano ba tayo maging productive? So definitely we'll be able to become competent and useful to our institution kasi yung mga research na gagawin natin, definitely it could help also the institution. That's why yung top reason natin is institution quality, okay, which is to help improve the institution pertaining to the accreditation level, the ISO certification. Kasi if we have enough research, so definitely mag-level up yung ARES and become, of course, university soon. Okay, and then the third reason is faculty role. Ayan. So sabi ko kanina, it's not only for compliance sake. That's why we need to do research. But of course, sabi nga it's also a requirement under IPCR. So that's why, diba, every year when we need to discuss about your IPCR or your performance rating, I always insinuate to you na very important yung research. That's why I encourage you to do your own research individual. Para at least, di ba, mas mataas yung points na makuha natin. Because sa IPCR, the research has 30%. O, di ba? So, tama yun na dapat we need to know our role as being faculty of the institution. And lastly, of course, is what I mean is to update teaching. Okay, the reason for some of the faculty members to do research is for them to be able to upgrade, of course, their competencies pertaining to their let's say teaching strategies and methodologies, diba? So in a way, ma-upgrade nila na okay, eto pala kailangan natin gawin kasi of course merong mga new teaching styles, especially now in a new normal that we need to conduct our class through virtual. Ayan, so thank you so much. Okay, so let me proceed to my slide. Ayan, so with that, of course, it is given that research is really important, especially in the higher educational institution. So based from the CMO number 48S, Series 1996, okay, that research is an important component of university or institution functions. So that provides, ayan, the HEI must demonstrate a track record of not less than 3 years in maintaining high research standards as evidenced by dynamic research program manned by a qualified and competent faculty members and supported by an adequate budgetary allocation. So we're very fortunate talaga na we have 2 administrators from research department that they really encourage us and motivate us to do research and present to an international research conference. Ayan. So as to CHED typology requirements, ayan. So not only in our institution, but also the Commission on Higher Education has this what we call requirements pertaining to research, that all full-time faculty are actively involved in research. So it means all of us are required to do research. And from that, any of these conditions. So imagine, di ba? Research cost allocation equivalent to 75,000 times the number of faculty members involved in research. Okay, that includes external grants, monetary value of research load, equipment, and similar expenses credited to research. So that's why, diba, part of the research, or what I mean, part of the seminar that was conducted by Sir Grant before, that we are required to submit a research proposal. Kasi pwede nilang i-finance if they think that our research is really feasible and it would really help our institution. So pwedeng mag-finance, magbigay ng budget allocation ang IRIS kung if they evaluate or assess the research proposal is really feasible to the institution. And then at least 5% of full-time faculty members engage in research and have patents or articles in referred journal or books published by reputable presses in the last 10 years. So that's why, diba, part of our PBB that we need to meet, of course, our target. Diba? So according to Sir Grant a while ago, so it should be 75% or I think 5 faculty members in each college should have their research. Ayan. So a while ago, Sir Grant have presented or discussed in terms of research culture. So sabi nga ni Sir Grant na he is very happy and grateful na he established the research culture in our institution. So based from the AACOP manual, okay, a good research culture, ayan, should have a research center with qualified head and staff. Ayan, so we're very lucky that we have a director who is Engineer Mamaradlo. Okay, so he is a champion, di ba? An inventor, di ba, from the College of Engineering. And of course, I think naman we're all aware about our research agenda. So later, I will present the research agenda of CBA or CBPA. And then research agenda is reviewed every year. And then the research output must be disseminated or be published. And of course, good thing about that our institution have different linkages with external agencies or organization for research collaboration. So that was discussed a while ago or mentioned by Sir Grant. And of course, the institution also has a definite budget for research. And another thing, of course, we should have utilization and application of research. So it means we need to execute or we need to implement, let's say, those recommendations or let's say those action plan that was recommended in our research output. Ayan. And then another, continuous retooling on research methodology. So it means we need to do a continuous retooling, particularly to us as a faculty members. And of course, the institution has also this what we call reward system for faculty and staff researches. So meron namang mga sort of incentives, diba? So later i-present ko din yun, what are those incentives or honorarium that can be reserved as a researcher. And then evidences of research output for last 5 years. So we're very lucky. According to Sir Grant, it was started last 2010. So it almost how many years na? So more than 10 years na tayo talaga that having these evidences of research outputs. And of course, most of our faculty have this publication in referred journals. Yan. So another activity, okay, kindly visit the quizzes. Ayan. So stop share ko lang ha. Okay, nakita ba yung ano? Okay, ulitin ko. Ayan. Kindly visit the quizzes and this is the code 03674806. Ayan, pa-visit lang po. And then, you need to answer the question, why faculty don't do research? Ayan, sa mga iba na tinatamad gumawa ng research, ano yung reason nyo? Bakit ayaw nyong gumawa ng research? May I know? Ayan, so...
Sir, pwede ba ako verbal na lang? Kasi hindi ako marunong yan eh, yung mga Mentimeter. Pwede ba ang sagot ko, sir, verbal na lang?
Later, sir. Pero, sir, you need to explore kasi, di ba, from our learning yesterday, dapat i-explore natin yung mga tinuro sa atin. So, that's why ako, in-incorporate ko na po agad. Although, from my previous slide, wala po talaga to. Yan po. So, yung
Papaturo na lang ako
code.
kay Erwin, sir.
Sir, paulit po ng code.
Wait.
Sir, paulit po ng code.
Sir, code po.
Ayan. Wait lang. Ayan. So, wait. Nawala ako. The code is 0367. Wait lang po ah. Repeat ko lang. Ayan po yung code.
03674806.
Yes. Ayan. So, it's an open-ended question. So, you can have more than words to answer the question, why faculty don't do research? Ayan. So, although I heard some of the reasons, pero may we know, di ba, for some others who really don't appreciate doing research. And share ko lang yung quiz. Yan, so let's have the live quiz.
This game has expired na po sa akin. Ano ba yun?
Nag-expired na po ba?
Expired na po,
Yes,
sir.
sir. Expired po.
Wait lang ha. So, kasi sinet ko siya ng 9:30
Same, sir.
pala.
It's same.
Expired na po.
Okay, one
Expired na
moment.
po.
Nag-expired,
Yan
sir.
ko lang siya ulit.
Expired na po, sir.
Yes, one moment lang po. Nakalagay nga dito N. Okay, edit lang natin. Okay, wait lang po. Okay, so ano ba ito i-edit? Wait lang. So, okay, so anyway, nawala, hindi ma-edit. Ayan, wait. Ito na. Wait lang. Ayan, so pa-check lang po ulit.
Sir, yun pa rin po.
Ayaw pa din? Yes, same, ano.
Expired po, sir.
Same code, sir.
Sir, dapat
Yes.
yung code po.
Expired pa rin po, sir.
Okay, what happened kaya?
Magre-regenerate kasi, sir, yan ng new code po.
Okay, anyway, so share ko ulit yung bagong code. Ayan. So, this is the new code. 361258.
361, 2, 3. Yan na.
Okay na po.
Music po, sir.
Hindi po sa akin.
Yan nga, sir.
And so we have answers coming from Ma'am Joy.
361, 361.
Okay, what happened?
Ay, iba to.
Yan, ang dami na pong nagsagot. Wait lang po ah. Okay, tapos na po.
Talang tanong na, sir.
Okay. So wait lang po ah. Medyo maingay. Okay, so let me ask, who is this DI? Okay, may I know your answer? Okay, what is your reason? Okay, so we have 20 respondents here. Okay, may I know your reason? Why do faculty don't do research? Okay, sino po yun?
Sir, pwede ba ako sumagot? Verbal?
Yes, go ahead, sir.
Okay. Sir,
Okay.
probably one of the reasons why some faculty are quite hesitant to conduct research is because the absence of proper instruction, method, or guidelines how to conduct it. For instance, sir, every item in every chapter should be explored rigidly with concrete examples from introduction up to the last chapter, no? Recommendations. Because once every item in every chapter is properly touched and explored with concrete examples, the faculty will be able to comply comprehensively, effectively, and correctly how to conduct their research. Yun lang po, sir.
Okay, so I think from the reason of Sir David, why do faculty don't do research is that there is no what we call lack of support or guidance. Okay, so yun yung problema for most of the faculty. So for those naman who are really good and expert in doing research, so hopefully you'll able to share, diba, your expertise and knowledge by mentoring those faculty members. So ako naman I'm always willing to mentor you guys. That's why there are some of the faculty are willing, di ba, na talagang lumapit sa akin at magtanong kung paano ba gumawa ng research output, gumawa ng abstract. So I'm willing to help you and to coach you guys. So yung anytime you can call me, or let's say you can visit my office para mabigyan ko kayo ng guidance, proper guidance in doing research. Okay, what else? Other reason?
I would
Okay, yung
like
mga
to,
nagsagot po. Yes, Ma'am Diana.
Yes,
Dela
I was the
Cruz.
one you are calling a while ago, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. So the reason for not doing research for now is, of course, I don't have enough time to do the research because of other matters, especially family matters. Okay, for now kasi sir, I am currently teaching also yung aking mga small kids. That's why I think it is not the best time for me to do the research right now.
Okay. So, yun din yung problema, di ba, with this what we call work from home. Di ba? The problem with this work from home is that nagiging multitasker tayo. Di ba? So, that's why we don't have time to do research. Di ba? Especially with those mothers. Di ba? Na talagang you need to assist your children, your kids, di ba? In their module. Yun yung problema. But hopefully, di ba, you'll able to, let's say, find time, di ba? Let's say a short time every week, di ba? Like for example, think of topic, di ba, for this coming school year. Ayan. So hopefully magbigay lang tayo ng, let's say, a short time para gumawa ng research.
I
Anyway,
think more
hindi
on
naman
time
mauubos
management.
yung oras natin sa paggawa ng research, especially if you have collaborators and partners in doing your research. Pwede namang mag-partner di ba? Especially for instructor 1. Ayan. So thank you, Ma'am Diana. Who else? Other reasons? Yes, sino pa po? Okay, what about Ma'am Celestial? Top 2. Yes, Ma'am Celestial.
Yes,
What
good
is
morning
your
po.
reason? Yes, ma'am.
Actually, sir, nailapit ko na rin sa inyo yan. Kasi po yung sa research po kasi, sir, wala nga pong proper guidance. Yun nga. Unang-una po kasi, sir, hindi ba, yun din po yung nagiging reklamo ko doon sa mga research na sa mga bata. Hindi naman po talaga actually na ituturo. Ano po ba yung how to choose a good title? Di po ba? Tapos ano yung dapat ilagay nila sa introduction? Yun po yung nagiging ano ko eh. Kahit nga po hindi po ba naranasan ko rin sa anak ko eh. Research nga pero hindi naman na ituro pa paano kayo. Basta, magbigay
Bigay
kayo
lang
ng
ng
title.
format.
Di po ba? Tapos ito yung gagayahin nyo. Paano natututo yung bata kung kinopya lang din po? So yun po yung ano ko eh. Paano tayo makakakuha or saan tayo kukuha ng idea para magkaroon ng magandang title? Isa pa nga po sa tanong ko, bakit ang haba-haba lagi ng mga title?
Okay, that's right. Ayan, so according to Sir Mamarado, sinagot ni Sir Mamarado yung question or yung reason ni Ma'am Celestial that the research office has seminars and capability building for research this coming September and October. So hopefully maka-join tayo doon. Yan, for us to have enough knowledge and siguro yung tinatawag nating instructions on how to, diba, to do or to create or formulate our titles same with the statement of the problem. Ayan. So, more motivations lang talaga yung kailangan. Who else? Yes, Sir Joel?
Sir, may sasagutin ko lang yung tanong ni Ma'am Celestial about sa research. Gusto ko rin kasing makatulong. So, yung introduction, abstract, magkaiba po yun. Yung abstract kasi, summarize yan ng ating research. Isa-summarize mo yung research. In short, ibig sabihin, isa-summarize lang. Yung introduction po, yun yung history nung research na nire-research natin. Yun naman ginagawa natin na table, yun yung geographic. Ibig sabihin ng geographic, yung lugar, pupunan natin kung saan lugar yung i-research. Hahati-hatiin natin yan from country, pababa, hanggang mapunta tayo sa street ng pag-i-research natin. And then, papasok din dyan yung demographic, yung profile. Yung edad ng tao, gender, hahatiin mo na yung gender. Pag nahati natin yung gender, yung age. Papasok doon yung age and then yung generation. From baby boomers, yung generation ni Mr. David, to generation X, to generation millennial, and then generation Z. So pag nagtuturo din ako ng research sa mga bata ng thesis, hindi naman ako nagtuturo ng pure na thesis, yung pasakalye lang pag nagtuturo ako sa kanila. Kaya tayo nagkakaroon ng table, hinahati-hati natin sila by geographic, demographic, behavioral, psychological behavior, hinahati-hati natin yun. Kaya may table tayo sa research. So doon papasok yung conclusion, yung action plan. So pagpasok ng action plan, depende yun doon sa makikita natin, doon sa demographic, geographic, na magiging output noon, psychographic, behavioral, ganyan. So yung marketing mix, doon papasok. So doon nabubuo yung research po. So yun po yung basic ng research kung paano magawa. Kaya ako, pag nagawa ako ng research, sandali lang. Isang upo ko lang, tapos kaagad yung research. Doon lang nagtatagal ako doon sa paggawa ng statistics, yung pagsusurvey. So ngayon naman, madali na lang kasi meron naman ngayon na internet. So mas madali ngayon kumpara dati. Yun po yung pinakamadali na paraan doon sa mga nahihirapan na mag-research. Okay.
So
Yes,
thank you
sir.
so much, Sir Joel, for giving Ma'am Celestial a brief discussion about how to
Sir, can I
develop
add something, sir?
a research. Yes, Sir Pasahol.
Sir, being the host
Yes.
of the host of the today's program, pwede pong ilimit natin yung later on na lang po tayo
Yung mga questions.
Pwede po kasi para yung pong topic ni Sir matuloy-tuloy niya po.
Tapos,
We will
that's
have
right.
a portion for
Noted po, ma'am.
question and answer, ha? Pwede po. Thank you so
Yes, ma'am.
much.
Okay, thank you so
Yes,
much,
ma'am.
Ma'am Cynthia. So,
Yes.
ayun. Yes, Sir Pasahol, is that a question or an answer to the question? Why do
Actually,
research why faculty don't do research?
Actually, sir, it is an answer po dun sa question na pinablik
Yes.
natin sa question. Actually, aside for the faculty don't have time to make the research, syempre you have to consider the cost, diba? And this time of
Budget.
pandemic. Kasi hindi rin naman tayo pwede, sir, na mag-conduct ng research na lahat ng references natin is galing lang sa internet. Siyempre, we have to go to the site kung saan tayo dapat mag-conduct ng research, and as much as possible, we have to see yung mga respondents natin, di ba? Na kailangan na as much as possible makuha natin yung data na dapat na kailangan natin to answer those questions na nandun sa research natin, sir. So, as a whole po, ang gusto ko lang pong sabihin, because of this pandemic, medyo limit po yung paggawa natin ng research as faculty. Siguro kung gagawa tayo ng research, katulad po ng sinabi ko ni Sir Joel Reyes, ang magiging references lang ni natin is most of the time is the internet. Hindi ko naman po inaano yung mga research na galing sa internet, pero mas maganda po kung makapaghanap po tayo ng mga references outside internet. Di ba po, sir? Especially yung mga na-publish po ng mga thesis na. So, yun lang po, sir. Thank you po.
Okay, thank you. So, other reasons why do faculty don't do research is that, sabi nga niya, limited resources. Resources in a way that we don't have enough budget, di ba? Especially in terms of conducting survey. It requires budget talaga yon. But good thing about now, through online, we could do online survey, di ba? So the problem is that yun lang yung to search and locate, di ba, the right respondent to your study. And in terms naman of limited resources or sources of information, I think we have online sources na reliable naman yung mga sources, like for example the ProQuest, di ba? So yung IRIS has ProQuest account, so you can ask the library for the code, di ba? Para at least we could have access, like if we want to research about those proposed topics, pwede tayong makagather ng information. And through online din naman and through internet, marami din namang mga online sources or online references na considered reliable. So it's up to us na lang how we scrutinize those information that we have gathered from the internet. Ayan. So let me continue my presentation. Ayan. So we have different reasons why we don't do research. Right. So like for example, sabi nga kanina ni Ma'am De La Cruz, of course, they have time shortage. They don't have enough time. And then another reason is lack of support, okay, from the colleagues. Okay, but with regards to the institution, I think naman the research office has enough or adequate support to us. Okay. As to incentives for some others, I think the institution is also providing or offering incentives for those who do presentation, national and international. Okay, the other reason is they don't have enough skills. Okay, so hindi ako naniniwala sa reason na they don't have enough skills. It's all about, of course, enhancing our skills, 'di ba? So ang problema kasi, 'di ba, sinasabi natin wala tayong skills in research, but actually we do have. The problem is we need to discover and to enhance these research skills. And of course, in terms of last reason is the lack of interest. Okay, syempre kung pipili tayo ng topic or research title, of course, yung reason natin is we should be more interested with the topic, di ba? For us to continue, di ba, gathering information about our chosen topic or research title. Yun yung dapat nating isipin na huwag tayong mag-isip ng mga title na hindi naman tayo interesado. Diba? Much better kung we are really passionate with the topic or fascinated with the topic. Mas maganda yung ganun para at least tuloy-tuloy natin siyang matapos. Okay? So, let's start with the first outline of my presentation. Yung kanina kasi parang icebreaker lang. It's an introduction. Okay, let me start with the organization. So I think naman you're all aware about our research organization in IRIS, that the research is headed by the Vice President for Planning, Research Extension, and International Services by the name of Dr. Grant Cornell. And then of course, secondly, we have the Director for Research Development and Production, wherein we're very lucky that he is here, Engineer Rogelio Mamaradlo. And of course, we have also designated a college research coordinator who is Dr. Aguida Cabreros. Ayan. So, siya yung pwede nating lapitan or pwede rin naman dumiretso sa akin if you have a proposed research topic na pwede nyo gawin this coming school year. Yan. Next, the research agenda. Okay, so definitely yung mga research output should be aligned with the Commission on Higher Education National Higher Education Research Agenda. So what are those research agenda? Okay, research in science and technology for institutional and national development. So I think this is appropriate for BS entrepreneurship, particularly in creation of new products, diba? So hopefully makapag-create kayo ng mga new products from entrepreneurship, and then research to promote productivity and competitiveness of IRIS. So maraming mga researches pertaining to this employees' productivity, performance, same with the students, and another research to enhance capability building and management in the institute. So there are some research naman, particularly yung mga nagkumuha ng doctorate degree, that they have those research pertaining to capability building. And then another one, it should be aligned to research to improve instruction in the various disciplines. So that's why, diba, there are some researches wherein we need to assess, like for example, the assessment on virtual online class. So yung mga undergraduate natin in their research subject have conducted different, okay, research pertaining to instruction of different disciplines in marketing, human resource development, office administration, and of course the entrepreneurship and the public administration. And another is that research should also promote institutional image. Ayan. So those are research agenda that must be appropriate and aligned to the Commission on Higher Education. Okay, so what about the research agenda by college? So we have this research trust and priorities. So number one, disciplinal studies in the degree program. So that's why yung mga research natin for 3 consecutive years talagang naka-align doon sa mga program, 'di ba? Yung mga undergraduate research naka-align dun sa program nila yung mga research output nila. And then another one, curriculum review and assessment vis-a-vis industry standards. So there are some research output naman that we have research on the different business and industries. Okay, and then evaluation studies on institutional procedures. Diba? So yung mga, like for example, the delivery system of registrar or different offices. Ayan, so pwede natin i-consider yon. And then investigation on the learning strategy and effective pedagogy. Okay, so it means it's all about the teaching styles, especially this online class. And then another, analysis of performance and competencies in government examination. So like for example, pwede natin sigurong i-consider yung competencies of BSOA graduates pertaining to their, let's say, competencies on stenography, diba? And then renewable energy gadget development of automation, food production, and security. So for BS entrepreneurship, we can consider the food production. And then of course, project impact studies. So it means there should have high significance or benefits, of course, to our institution. And very common to us that yearly we have this tracer studies on our graduates. And then creative works and instruction development, and then the patent, copyrights, and trademarks. So hopefully yung mga instructional materials na ginawa natin last year can have a copyright and be published and ayan, be patented also with the support of the research office. Ayan. So, how do we select research topic? Ito yung question kanina ni Ma'am Celestial na ang hirap mag-isip, di ba, ng mga topic for research. Okay, number one is we need to choose a research that you are fascinated in, not just something you think would make a good story subject. So sabi ko kanina, you need to be very interested with your topic, di ba? Like for example, you have this curiosity about this particular issue, then, di ba, you can start doing research about that. And then another one for you to be able to have a good research topic is that you need to socialize or talk to people. Like for example, yung mga mentors, yung mga experts, and same with siguro yung mga business professional can also help. Di ba nga yung mga informal conversation with our networks can also help kasi they could generate new ideas, di ba, from those people or networks that we are socialized with. And another thing, good thing about if you are really anong tawag doon, into vacation or leisure, di ba? You could go to different places for you to be able to discover, di ba, new ideas. Ayan, yung mga pagbaka-bakasyon nyo, di ba? Pwede kayo makakuha ng mga idea doon. Another one, you could also visit yung mga niche website and blogs are good starting places. So, pwede kang makakuha, let's say, ng mga new information like for example from LinkedIn account. Diba? Kung meron kang LinkedIn account, pwede kang makakuha ng mga new informations pertaining to different companies, pertaining to professionalism. Ayan. And then, diba, if you're really good in reading, ayan, sabi nga, read some books in a style you enjoy. Like for example, yung mga magazine, periodicals can also help you to select a good research topic. Okay, so know good journals and conferences in your research area. So ito yung mga sort of, let's say, sabi natin kanina, online source of information like from Academy of Management Annals, Academy of Management Journal, Journal of International Business Studies, and of course, the Strategic Management Journal. So this is really intended for business discipline. Ayan. So we have also criteria for research proposal. So we are required, diba, to submit a research proposal to research office. So what are those criteria? Okay, so this is coming from the research office that, of course, your research proposal has contribution to the body of knowledge and practice. So it means we need to generate new knowledge and new learning from the definition ng research. And then another one, there should have a soundness of research proposal and design. So ibig sabihin, once we submitted a research proposal, make sure that you have enough, okay, information in your research proposal. And then there should have applicability, marketability of the research output. So it means once we have the research output, it must be executed and implemented. Likewise, if it's product, then the product, or let's say the gadget or equipment, should be marketable also. And then next, the capability of proponent to carry out research. So one criteria, of course, your capability or your competencies in doing research. And then we need also to align. So I already presented the research agenda, so we need to align our research to those agendas. And then it should be conformity to the National Research Trust from the DOST and the CHED. Yeah. So let's move on to next topic, which is all about research production. Ito na. So what are those type of research that we could have? Okay, number one, we could have it as an individual research. Ako, every year talaga gumagawa ako ng sarili kong research. 'Di ba? Because I have the data already eh. 'Di ba? So that's the thing about independent research completed in 2 semesters. 'Di ba yung mga data coming from your students, 'di ba? Pwede mong gamitin yun eh, 'di ba, in your research. So, as to administrative support, ayan, sabi nga, possible for research presentation and publication. Pag na-approve yan ng research office, once you submitted, of course, it is required to present in the international or national research conference, and it should be published also with the national and international journals. Next type of research, a research should be an institutional research. Yan, research as seen important and relevant by management for institutional development. So, sabi nga kung if you think yung research mo could really help our institution to become very competitive and to become a university in the future, so you could submit an institutional research. Sabi nga dito, negotiable for funding. So meron naman tayong research grant or research support or budget for that. Okay, next, an institutional material. So some of our faculty members have already published their instructional materials. To name some, we have Dr. Rosemary San Luis. Ang dami niya nang na-publish ng mga instructional materials, especially for office administration. And then we have also Dr. Charlene Escario from accounting subject. Ayan. So sabi nga, administrative support, possible for publication. Mas maganda na ipapublish, di ba, nagagawang libro. And then, aside from libro, of course, pwede naman natin isubmit to for electronic book also, di ba? And then, another one, a guided research. Ito yung ginagawa natin that we should have a research training and production of research articles for publication and exhibit. So, this coming school year, first semester, we will have a local research colloquium among faculty and students. Yung mga nag-top from the research subject, they are required to present the research output to us. Ayan, yung tinatawag nating local research colloquium to be headed by Dr. Aguida Caveros. Ayan, possible for presentation in a publication, and hopefully we could come up also with a local research journal. Although the institution has a research journal, hopefully yung CBPA has also this research journal sa atin lang din na pwede rin natin i-present during the accreditation. Ayan. So, let's move on na since we're talking about research production. So, from the format coming from the research office, so this is the standard format for research articles. So it started with the title, abstract, keyword. Ayan, for keyword, make easy to indexing and searching. And then, of course, I think some of you are also familiar with the IMRAD format, which you have submitted, di ba, to our research office. Ayan, so introduction, methods, results, and discussion. Ayan, so journal space is not limited, but more importantly, reader's time is limited. So make it more brief and concise as possible. And then we are also required to have our conclusion and acknowledgement references and the supplementary data. Like for example, if it's an instructional material, we could append the module or instructional material. Or let's say a screenshot or a picture or an image of the product that was created by a researcher. Ayan. So I will present a sample research proposal. So I presented this year. The topic is flexible learning-based module of strategic management. So this is a module naman. Ayan. So from here, okay, you have the researcher and then of course the context and rationale. So in terms of doing context and rationale, so we have limited paragraphs lang yan. So we need to apply the macro, micro, mini level approach. Diba? Now we're in from the first paragraph. Of course, we have the introduction, a general information about our topic. And then on the second paragraph, of course, you need to incorporate the issues, the problems that you have formulated from your research. And of course, in the third paragraph, you need also to present your findings, a brief discussion of your findings. Ayan. So that's the context and rationale. Okay, so of course, we have the statement of the problem or the action research questions, and then your proposed innovation or intervention strategy. So you need to have a short information about your proposed innovation, and then what are those action research methods or procedures to be conducted. So you need to present who will be your participants, the data gathering method, and of course, your data analysis plan. Ayan, so as you can see here, of course, nakalagay dyan, the participants of the research are administrators and faculty members of CBA, and then the procedures, ayan, nandyan, and then for data analysis plan, you need to present those statistical tools that was used or to be used in your research. Ayan, so we are also required to present an action research work plan and timeliness. So, which means it's a Gantt chart, diba? Now, wherein you need to present how will you do your research this year. So, we have a pre-implementation. Ayan, so this will serve as your guide. I can share this to you later on. Ayan, now we're in from pre-implementation. Ayan, conduct researches from different resources. Ayan, nakalagay naman the activities to be done, and then the person involved, the time frame, the resources, and the performance indicator. Ayan, so from here, ayan, so since mag-start tayo ng school year on October 4, so the pre-implementation will start on October 4 to 31. So definitely, it's a 1-month preparation talaga and planning, di ba, na for you to be able to have, of course, a good research, you need to do gathering a lot of information. And then letter B, the implementation. How will you do your research? Ayan. So since it's a module, okay, improve the existing module that will be flexible for online and offline learning-based module. Ayan. So the activities, development of design of online-based module. Ayan. So the date from November 2 to 29, 2020. Ayan. So, next, development of design of online-based modules. So, dalawa kasi siya, di ba? It's a combination since it's a flexible learning module, we have offline and online-based module. Ayan. So, yung online naman to be done on December 1 to 30, 2021. Ayan. And then, next implementation, submit for critique and evaluation of the developed flexible learning-based module. Ayan. So, validation of the developed flexible learning module and survey instrument to the expert. Ayan. So, you need to submit that to the expert para mas scrutinize yung output mo, same with your survey instrument. So, that will be done on January 2 to 15, 2022. Ayan. So, the resources should be survey instrument for validation and evaluation. And then next, once the module is approved, that's the time that you need to conduct your survey to the selected group of respondents and able to retrieve. So, ayan, nakalagay naman dyan, January 16 to 30. Ayan, then next, conduct learners performance test. So, for you to be able, ayan, and then next, February 1 to 15, and then The next is the post-implementation. Once you have already done with your research, gathering survey and conducting performance tests, that's the time that you need to conduct a statistical treatment of data. Ayan. So the date is February 16 to 30, 2022. And then next, you need to incorporate all the comments and suggestions from your mentor or from your coach, and then drop and finalize the action research to be submitted to the research office. So that will be on March 1 to 30. And then, of course, you need to present the final action research output on April 1. Kasi, di ba, ang tapos ng second semester natin is July. So it means maaga natin siyang natapos in preparation for, of course, research presentation. Ayan. Next, so what you are also required to have a cost estimates or budget from doing this research. Ayan. So, cost estimate lang naman to kasi the research office is also asking ano-ano yung magagastos mo from doing your research output. Ayan. Like for example, what are those? Professional fee in development of flexible learning-based module. Since kung online yan, kailangan mo ng assistance ng IT expert. And then token for the validation of your survey questionnaire and your module. And then production of survey questionnaire and test paper, the statistician, production of the final action research output. So overall, the total cost is 40,000 pesos. Ayan. So it's up to the research office kung i-approve yung cost estimate mo for that particular research output. And then, of course, you have the plan for dissemination and utilization. Ayan, nakalagay. After the final research output presented to the research office, the flexible learning-based module in strategic management will be distributed and shared to the College of Business and Public Administration. And then as to references, these are existing instructional materials, periodicals, magazine, thesis, dissertation that will serve as supporting literature and studies. So, yun yung pinaka format for research proposal to be submitted to the research office. Ayan. So, let's move on naman to research review process. Ayan. To maintain quality standard of research output, once we have the research output, so definitely, what are those actions to be taken? Okay. The research office has rubrics for research evaluation. So I have already presented the criteria on that. And then evaluation criteria used by the research office for accepting research reports and articles recommended for publication are sent to external referees and reviewers. So ibig sabihin, maraming pagdadaanan talaga yung research output mo before publication or before presentation. Okay, so here are the research procedures. So makikita to doon sa research manual. Ayan, so nakalagay naman dyan. Ayan, we are required to submit a research proposal to the dean through the college research coordinator, and then the college dean convenes the college research committee for evaluation of the research proposal. And then the college research committee endorses the research proposal to the director of research development and production, and then the research office dates all the proposal and submit to the Vice President for Planning, Research, Extension, and International Services. And then they have to convene, okay, the IRIS Research Evaluation Committee for evaluation of the research proposal. And then, of course, the evaluation committee has to recommend an approval, revision, or disapproval of your research output to the president. And then the budget office clears availability of funds for that research project. And then, of course, the vice president for research has to inform the proponent through the dean. And then, ayan, grantee and the president sign the MOA of research undertaking. And then the grantee undertakes the research project. Ayun na, and so on and so forth. And then, let's move on now to the research dissemination. So definitely, once you have the research output, the faculty has to encourage to share their quality research in several forums within and outside IRIS. Ayan. So ibig sabihin, you are required to present your research output to local research colloquium, to the national research conference, and even international research conference. Okay, for publication naman, ayan, so eto na yon, sabi ni Sir Grant, di ba? For us to have a professorial item, of course, we need to have a Scopus publication. So that's why the objective of this research publication is to assist and support the publication of scholarly articles. So, of course, yearly we have the international publication of research digest for faculty research abstracts, and then submission of research article for publication in national and international journals. And then, of course, good thing about, since, like for example, ako before, during year 2018, I submitted my research output to the CHED. Okay? Kasi I need to present my research output outside Philippines. So, kailangan ma-approve ng CHED yung research output ko for international presentation. Ayan. So, publication award for article published in referred international and national journals. Ayan. So, pag na-publish on, there is a corresponding incentives or reward for you as a researcher. Okay, so these are the common, okay, aspect in doing your research output. Okay, particularly the abstract. Ayan. So sabi nga, the title and scope. Sabi ni Ma'am Celestial kanina, ang haba-haba ng title, but for an international publication, the number of words of your title should be 12 to 15 words only. Ayan. And then the word should be international character. So ibig sabihin, it should be understandable universally. And then the title should be catchy and interesting. And then the scope should be relevance to an international audience. So word count for your abstract must be 190 to 210 words, never too short or exceeding. Ayan. So keyword must be content for components, the discipline of your study, the concept of your study, the methods, the process, and your geography. And then for the structure of your research, of course, you are required to have an introduction, of course, a chief purpose or aim, and then your methods, and then your results, your conclusions, recommendation, and then the literature cited must also be presented, okay, which is in the list of references for online sources. So languages, you need to use correct standard English, spelling, and grammar. So that's why we have Grammarly naman eh, diba, to check. And then contribution to new knowledge, newness of result, which are not yet in scientific literature. So it means it should be new theory, and then it should be conformed with the theme. Especially, di ba, as to international conference, usually they have yearly theme. So dapat yung research mo naka-align dun sa theme nila for you to be approved. And then there is what we call the high potential to get cited when published. Ayan. So, ayan, sinabi ko yung tips in doing or in formulating an abstract or introduction. There must have at least 200 words. Ayan, should be presented on a separate page immediately preceding the text. Ayan, the abstract should concisely inform the reader of 5 vital information: the introduction, the chief purpose, the objective method, results, and conclusion. Ayan, only recommendation with universal or wider application could be included, but it's optional. Ayan, so I already presented this. So let me present an example. So this is an example of abstract for publication. So ito yung present ko last July. Okay, so the research title is Faculty Webinar Engagement Towards Professional Growth and Development. It's Learning Execution to Business Students in New Normal. So as you can see here, I have an introduction, and then the findings, and then the conclusion. Ayan. So that's an example of an abstract. Okay, so what are the significance of publication in journals? Of course, there is a greatest visibility of research findings. So ako, I usually uploaded my research through academia.com. Ayan, so ang dami kong mga sort of messages coming from other researcher, okay, as to their appreciation of my research output in academia. And then another one, the good thing about your research output to be published in journal, pwedeng ilagay yung pangalan mo, 'di ba? Yung increased chances of citations. 'Di ba? So that's a good thing about, 'di ba? Like for example, yung mga thesis natin, 'di ba, in National Library, yung mga researcher talagang sinasite pag meron silang nakita na very significant yung findings mo to their current study. And then another one, of course, you have a greater recognition among peers. And then associated benefits such as promotion. Sabi nga natin yung NBC can help us to promote by the publication in journal. And also the productivity and allowance, etc. Okay, so according to Sir Grant a while ago, what are the target publication for researches? Ayan, so number one is the ISI. Now call it as Thomson ISI publication. So a list of over 14,000 journals. And then of course, the Scopus. Ayan, so officially named as Scopus. Ayan, so and then another is the Philippine e-journal. So hopefully yung mga research output natin will be presented in this publication, international publications. Yan. So let's move on na to the honorarium. Akala natin gumagawa lang tayo ng research for our promotion or for our requirements, but actually there is an honorarium or reward for doing research. Like for example, if your research project is in science and technology research, okay, since it's a group, for example, like for program leader, you could have a 12,000 for project leader, a 10,000 for project co-researcher, 8,000, and for the staff or support staff, 2,000 pesos. Ayan. For us naman, for social and behavioral research, if your research is presented locally, Manila, so you can receive a 5,000 pesos, for regional, a 7,000, for national, a 10,000 pesos. O, di ba? Hindi na masama yun. Okay, for incentives naman. So, eto yun. Once you present your research, like in international publication, you could have a 30,000 pesos. So, isa ako sa mga recipient of these incentives. Kasi for 3 consecutive years, 'di ba? I usually go out of the Philippines, 'di ba? Ginagawa ko siyang double purpose. 'Di ba? Nakabisita na ako dito sa country na 'to, nakapag-present pa ako ng research. And then sino gumastos? Yung Aries, 'di ba? So that's a good thing about conducting research na ipe-present mo siya sa international conference tapos gastos ng institution, siguro additional expenses na lang, yung pang-shopping mo na lang yung idadagdag mo dito 'di ba? And then another one for regional, of course, 20,000 pesos. And let's see, for example, for science and technology and invention, you could have a 30,000 also. Like for example naman, nanalo ka, ayan, di ba? You're a finalist, you can receive a 10,000 pesos. And for example, ikaw yung advisor nung nanalo from the regional national competition, you can also receive a 2,000 and 5,000 pesos. And if you have this patent and copyright, you can also receive a 10,000 and 5,000 per unit. Like for example, for copyright, yung mga books, ayan. So, pwede ka palang makareceive ng cash incentive. Ayan. So, let's move on naman to the research utilization and application. To track the usage and implementation of research output and recommendation in the institute and in the community, okay, the action to be taken is that there should have impact on the studies, particularly on the institution and in the college. And then you need to report the research among your peers, among faculty members, which have resulted in improved college policies and procedures. So, ibig sabihin, we need to execute what we have. Like for example, sabi ko kanina, yung intervention measures, an action plan, dapat ginagawa yun, hindi yung puro nakalagay lang siya sa recommendation, hindi puro drawing lang. There should have an execution and implementation of all of these recommendations. And then next, okay, the research linkages. So we have already started in the College of Business and Public Administration that we need to enhance interagency linkages for research. So action plan is that we need to have an active role in consortium. So this year we have consortium with IBAP, di ba? So partner tayo ng IBA from their International Research Conference last week. Ayan, we could also have a collaboration with, ayan, CHED, Zonal Regional Committee, as well as in national research agencies and organization. And then hopefully we could host a research consortium. So sana makapag-host din yung CBPA from a research colloquium. Diba? So hopefully bigyan din tayo ng chance ni Sir Mamarado na makapag-host. Okay, and then application for funding support from organization. So pwede tayong gumawa ng research from other industries that could help improve their, let's say, their marketing strategies. Ayan. And then, hopefully, we could have exploration of research partnership in Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, Indonesia, yung mga Asian partners. So, sabi ko nga is, hopefully, pag nag-present ako ng sa international conference, I could establish network with those organization to usually conduct research conference internationally. Okay, so sana maka-form tayo ng partnership with all of those Asian countries. Ayan, so these are research helping tools lang. Especially kung talagang sabi nga, you're looking for more information about your topic. Ito yung mga search engine that you could use. Ayan, repseek.com, Google Scholar, Microsoft Academic, the Core, the Semantic Scholar, and Academia, and also the ProQuest. Okay, and then, eto ha, it could also help you, especially in formulating your abstract. Ayan, meron tayong killbot.com. So, pwede niyang i-rephrase yung abstract mo. Let's say, kumopya tayo from other sources. Yung killbot.com can rephrase those statements para masabing original yung statement na yun. So, that's good thing about the killbot.com. And then we have the word counternet, the spelling, and then the grammar check, the Grammarly, and then we have originality test, the plagiarism detector, and the unit check. It can also help na para makita kung how many % yung original research output mo. Ayan. So, to end my presentation, okay, I have this quotation coming from Mahatma Gandhi. Ayan, sabi nga, as soon as you remove the cobwebs of ignorance that surround it, it shines clear. So sabi natin, always remember that for us to see the bright future, we need to remove our doubts, hesitations, by way of having adequate information, knowledge, through research. So in Tagalog, sabi, huwag nating hayaan ang sarili nating maging mangmang habang buhay. Matuto tayong alamin ang mga bagay na hindi natin alam. Ayan. So, hopefully, I'm able to encourage you and inspire you to do your research this coming school year 2021-2022. Ayan. Enjoy research, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Dean. Research is life.
That's right.
Okay, so thank you, Dean Gopasi, for that enlightening and informative presentation on intensifying research and in business. So, siguro naman na-enlighten tayo, okay? Na hindi naman pala ganun ka-intense. Kumbaga, chill-chill lang, nasasamahan natin ng medyo pagka-seryoso. Yan.
Tama. So that's why we have 30 weeks, diba, to complete our research output
Yes,
for
sir.
next school year.
Okay, so if you have any questions and you want to ask the speaker, you can unmute your microphone to speak or just type your question in the chat box. Okay, any question po? May question po ba tayo? Yes, sir. Benji, you're raising your hand.
Yan. So wag po tayong mahiyang magtanong. Nandito po si Sir Grant to assist me in answering those questions, especially the incentives or rewards, diba, for the researchers.
May question po ba? kanina po, ang dami po nag-a-ask ng question. Baka pwede na po natin i-raise ngayon yung mga questions natin hanggat nandiyan po si Dr. Grant.
That's
Matulungan
right.
po tayo sa pagsagot at saka po kay Dr. Mamaradi.
I would like to make a comment on the issue kanina na sinabi nung isang faculty, no, on related literatures na bakit parang ang dating sa akin bakit puro sa internet. Recently, hindi na po natin kinukuha yung mga sources na unpublished. Kasi right now, even thesis and dissertation are encouraged to be published electronically in internet. Pag ang iyong source ay hindi naka-internet, there is no way to verify if your source is existing or not. Ang tawag po dyan, gray citation. Hindi na po yan iginagalang sa international arena. Your resources should be verified in internet. Kaya wag po sasamaan loob ng mga oldies kasi may mga oldies na ang paniniwala nila still kailangan pa rin po yung unpublished materials. Pero hindi naman po ako nagtatakda ng rules, di ba? Ang nagtatakda po ng rules ay yung mga international researchers. Kapag ang iyong resources ay hindi mabe-verify, ang tawag nila dyan gray citations. Hindi na po yan ina-allow. Kasi po, lahat po ngayon, even sa National Library, yung mga papel doon ay nilalagay na nila sa internet. I graduated my degree in doctoral in 2001. Wala pa pong mga ganun-ganun. Nang akin pong i-search sa internet, nandun na po, galing po sa National Library. So, ibig sabihin, pag ginamit mo yung research ko, yung thesis ko, mabe-verify yun na nandun siya. So, hindi nyo po kailangan na magpunta at gumamit ng unpublished materials. Hindi po. Dini-discourage na po yan. Halimbawa, sinabi mo, yung material nito makikita sa ganitong library, hindi po nakapublish sa internet. Sino po kaya ang magtsatsaga na pupunta doon para ma-verify kung totoo o hindi ang iyong sources? So, clarification lang po to. Ginagalang po natin yung unpublished material but they are already discouraged. Kaya pag nag-international kayo, yung mga inilagay mong reference doon, hahanapin nila yon. At pag hindi nila na-verify, pababago nila sa iyo yun. Yun lang po yung aking kanina, yung comment ko po doon sa humahanap pa siya ng unpublished materials. Hindi na po yun. Dinidiscourage na po yun. Kasi ngayon po, lahat po ng nilalagay natin sa research natin ay bine-verify po ng international research body po. So, yun lang po, yung kanina, yung comment ko lang po dun sa kanina pong issue.
Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Thank you, sir.
po, Dr. Grant. Can we have a question? May question pa po ba tayo?
Okay, wag po kayong matakot. Hindi po kami kumakain.
Research lang po yan.
Tama.
Now to be you.
Yes.
Yes, Sir Pasahol. Do you have a question po?
Actually, ma'am, I just want to say thank you lang po kay Dr. Grant na at least medyo naliwanagan ako regarding that. Kasi before nga po, na nagkakandak po kami ng mga research na ganyan, hindi po kasi talaga kami ini-encourage na gumamit ng mga sources galing sa internet kasi most of the time, it's given, hindi po lahat ng nakikita natin sa internet. Pero sabi nga rin po kanina ni Sir Gapasin, it is for us na discretion po natin na kailangan i-check po natin ng mabuti yung mga resources. So as a whole po, I just want to say thank you po kay Sir Grant. Thank you po. Yun lang po. Wala naman pong question. Salamat po.
Okay, thank you, Sir Pasahol. So meron po tayong question dito from Ma'am Sherlyn Escario. So, more questions, sir. Do we have individual accounts used for checking plagiarism and just case module created was disseminated and used by the school? It would be owned by the institution or the author?
Yan. So I think si Sir Mamarado nagbigay siya ng account for originality test or plagiarism. Diba? So binigyan niya particularly si Ma'am Cabreros, the research coordinator, and then to be shared also to you, fellow faculty. Ayan, so pwedeng i-share yun ni Ma'am Cabreros. And then as to dissemination of those modules, ayan, so I think si Sir Grant or si Sir Mamarado yung pwedeng sumagot nito na once it will be approved, so own na po ba yun ng school?
Can I batid, Sir Willie?
Yes, Sir Mamarado.
Yung first natin ni Ma'am Charlene, all faculty members will be given regional account. So just send their full names and Gmail account. Then we will give them individually yung plagiarism test. So no problem about that. Lahat
Thank
ng
you so
faculty.
much, sir.
Yes. Yung pangalawang tanong naman, kapag kasi dumaan yan sa research office yung mga modules nila, so that will become the property of the school, pero sila pa din ang author. And ang maganda dito, pwede silang i-produce. So, kumbaga technically legal yung pagbebenta nila ng mga module kung idadaan nila sa school yan. Kasi may sharing yan. Pero most of the income mapupunta sa faculty yan. So, talagang they just need to give some amount sa IRIS as the institution na nag-support do sa paggawa ng module nila. Kasi 'di ba, as you recall do sa topic mo kanina, 'di ba, idadaan nila sa research, pupondohan ng research. So, merong naging ang tawag dito, share ang school sa pag-produce ng module nila, even sa production, no. Yung school ang mag-aano niyan. Therefore, it's just right and correct na meron kasi tayong IP policy manual. So, bibigyan ko kayo ng kopya, kaka-approve lang ng board. So nakalagay doon sa IP policy kung ano yung sharing doon sa income ng mga modules or books na yan. Pero that will become the ownership of the school. But ang author diyan si faculty na hindi na mawawala yung authorship doon sa faculty. So in that case, magiging magiging systematic at saka nakalegal siya. Walang dapat katakot yung faculty when it comes na nagkakaroon sila ng income doon sa nila, sa mga modules nila. So yun sir. Nasa IP policy manual natin siya. Bagong approve lang.
And so thank you so much, sir. So kasi good thing about with the faculty members of CBPA, they have developed modules last year during first semester and this last second semester. So they want those modules to be checked and hopefully it will be published. Yun po yung gusto nila. So at least po, 'di ba, meron na silang nagawang libro. Ayun po. Kasi lahat po ng faculty talagang required gumawa po ng module last school year. So that's good thing about with the CBPA faculty members na sumunod po kami kung ano po yung hinihingi ng institution.
Yes sir. Ang maganda nga dyan sir, ang magpapa-copyright yan dapat yung school. Yung school, sasagutin naman yung school yung expenses dun sa pagka-copyright. And in fact, nung pinapa-approve namin yung IP policy manual with the IPO Philippines and DOST, ang sabi pa nga nila, dapat nga hindi raw kina-counted yung mga module sa NBC 461 kapag hindi dumaan sa Instructional Material Development Committee ng school. Kasi nga parang parang naging personal use siya, hindi for school consumption na gagamitin yung module. So isa yun sa mga criteria na sinet nila. So ang sabi nila, dapat hindi maka-count yan sa NBC kasi yun nga sir, hindi dumaan sa sa approval ng school. So it is better na dapat ma-approve na lang ng school through the IMDEC, yung Instructional Material Development Committee. And possibly to research nga, gawin na nilang research output para dalawa, 'di ba? Isang target, dalawa yung may hit nila. May output sila sa research and at the same time, may module sila na legally, technically, pwede naman eh, wala namang problema mag-ano ng mga module kasi pinaghirapan ng faculty yan, and they need to be mabigyan sila ng incentive. Kaya lang ilagay lang sa proper context.
Tama, sir. So we're willing naman to undergo with the process, sir. Kasi we're not only for the incentives that we will be receiving from that module, but we're after with the recognition po talaga na yung mga names will be published from the module. Yun po yung gusto ng mga faculty na yung mga name nila naka-indicate authored by. Diba? Yun po eh. Very ano po yun eh. Gusto po nila yung ganun na magre-reflect yung mga names nila from those modules.
Okay, another issue, Willie, no? Sa IPO kasi, meron po tayong tinatawag na ownership and authorship. These are two different things. If you make your module and during the creation of the module, it is part of your work, hindi mo pwedeng angkinin ang module. You are still the author, pero yung ownership, hati kayo. Because it is part of your work. Kung sumulat ka ng libro outside your work at walang kinalaman sa trabaho mo, it is fully yours. So, since handaan po natin yung mga module nyo, nandun kasi ako nung nagmi-meeting, ang sabi, part of your AR, accomplishment report. So, solely, hindi mo pwedeng angkinin yung module. But you are the author. Tama po si Engineer Mamaradlo doon. Nasa IP policy doon. Ang kinaklaro ko lang, iba po ang ownership, iba po ang authorship. So, binayaran ka ng sahod mo in doing the module because part of your accomplishment report. Therefore, bayad ka na doon. So, kung nasa production na tayo, ibang kwento naman po yun. At yung hatian po niya, nasa research manual po. May 3 hati ata ito, natatandaan ko kasi kami gumawa ni Sir Mendoza. 1/3 sa author, 1/3 sa college, 1/3 sa institute. Parang ganun yung natatandaan ko kung hindi pa nabago. Yun lang pinapaliwanag namin, iba po yung authorship sa ownership.
Okay, yeah. So thank you so much, sir, for clarification as to authorship and ownership.
Okay po.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, may question pa ba tayo? Okay, so since there are no more questions from you guys, let us now proceed to the synopsis. Ma'am Cynthia.
Okay, so thank you very much. To summarize, to sum up the talk of our speaker, we have known the reasons why faculty tend not to create or make a research, and we already it has been discussed also with us that no matter what, it is very important for us to do our research for the following reasons. Number one, for our own development, for the institute development, kasi pag nag-develop ang institute sa kanyang mga research output, magkakaroon siya ng mga incentives at para we are already part, katulad ng sinasabi natin ng mga PBB at saka of course for our own development yung ating mga NBC. Remember na we are required to produce 75% ng research for us to be able to be entitled with CNA and PBB. And we must not be hesitant to produce our research because a lot of support is given sa ating faculty. There is a budgetary allocation, and the proper person to talk to was introduced. Sabi nga kanina, ang IRIS, we are very lucky and very happy to know na tayo ay talagang research. We were able, our Vice President and the Director of the research were able to make our institute a research culture-based institute. So yung mga guidelines from AACUP as well as from CHED, nasunod natin yon. Yung mga indicators na kailangan natin sundin as research, yan po ay nagawa na ng ating research organizational structure, no? Yung mga taong naka-assign para i-prepare, no, yung institute sa ganung klaseng culture. Tapos na po nilang gawin yun. So kailangan yung end naman natin part as faculty, yun naman po ang iniintay ng ating institute because they were able to make our institute a research culture institute, no? So yung napaka-importante po nito, no, na natuwa nga ako kasi yung mga research agenda, alam niyo yan, ano lang sa akin yan, every time there is a accreditation, ano? Kasi kailangan lahat ng ginagawa natin ay based dun sa ating mga research agenda or agenda, no? Be it an extension, be it a research, be it an employee, lahat may agenda, no? So lumalabas yan during accreditation. But this time, talagang makikita natin na paggawa rin po natin ng research, we have to be guided by the agenda. The Research Institute agenda, the college agenda. No? So guided po tayo. Hindi po tayo maliligaw kasi it is already in the manual ng ating, nasa research manual natin. No? Yung ating research must be anchor dun sa ating college agenda and sa ating institute agenda. Wherein sa latter part din ng presentation ni Sir na kailangan din anchor din, no, sa trust, national trust ng CHED and DOST, yung ating research na mapuproduce. So yun ang mga guide na dapat hindi tayo nawawala. So very important po yung ating mga agenda, no, research agenda na meron tayo na it was being na palaging, no, ina-update or ina-upgrade ng ating office for the research and extension headed by ating mga action man, Dr. Brand and Dr. Mamaradlo. No? So yung paggawa, yung binigyan tayo ng structure, so kung paano, yung may mga question kanina on how are we going to start with, no? So meron binigyan din tayo, in-enlighten tayo sa mga topics, at saka sa mga possible way wherein pwede tayong makorek yung ating mga ginagawa, how are we going to formulate, how many words, paano yung structure ng ating research, na-enlighten naman tayo doon sa presentation ni Sir. No? Actually, lahat, which is also can be seen sa ating research manual. No? Everything was being explained together with the dissemination, the publication, yung ating mga tips on how are we going to present our research to international platforms and venue, no? As well as the utilization of our research output. And again, ang final talaga nito, sabi nga natin, para hindi rin talaga sayang, ano? Kasi ang nakita ko yung ating mga head sa research, talagang they wanted us, no? Sabi nga nila, natuwa nga ako kasi ang kanilang nasa isip din, ano, for us to be able to cross dun sa professorial item. Sir, thank you so much kasi at least naiisip niyo po na itong ating ginagawa, it could be talaga used for us para sa aming personal development to be able to cross yung professorial item. Ang dami po nila, no? Marami po tayong mga doktor ngayon dyan at tapos ang tagal na rin po ng kanilang service sa school but they were not able to cross the professorial item, sabi nga ni Sir, because they lack what yung tinatawag natin na publication sa mga international venues like ISI, Scopus, and the Philippine e-journal, no, na nabanggit ni Sir. Ito pong ating research, siguro kung makikita natin, ako po ay talagang nasummarize ko na hindi lang natin matutulungan ng institute para sa kanyang performance, no? Actually, pagka natulungan natin ang institute sa performance niya, kasama pa rin po tayo, no? Kasi nga tayo nagbe-benefit sa CNA, sa PBB, and not only that, talagang individually, matutulungan talaga tayo ng research natin, no? Kasi po, tama din po si Sir Grant. Kasi po, ang in research po ay talagang unlimited po ang points. Unlike po sa mga ibang item na binibigyan natin ng points sa NBC natin, meron po silang mga limitations lang, no? Meron lang ceiling. Ang research po talaga parang unlimited, no? So tama si sir, we have to think, we have to see kung anong pang areas ng ating NBC na pwede tayong mag-focus. And talagang one thing more na talagang pwede tayong mag-focus, wala nang kaduda-duda, unlimited points, yan pong ating international research. So kung makakapag-produce po tayo, magigiyan natin yung sarili natin na mag-produce from time to time and through the help of our dean na talagang hindi po pwede hindi tayo makapag-produce gawa ng binigyan tayo ng output for 30 weeks. No? So automatic, siguro this is a very, very good start for everybody that at the end of the year, academic year, nakapagsimula tayo ng isa. No? Ng isa. Maraming salamat po, Sir Willie. Yun po ang natutunan namin at I want to summarize it that way na in the end talagang it's for the benefit of the faculty. Thank you so much.
Okay. Salamat, Dr. Manalad. And now for the awarding of certificate, Ma'am Tess. Ma'am Tess, Madagan.
At parang si Ma'am Chanda na ata ang mag-award.
Okay,
Si
so
ating associate din.
Sige po.
To award
Nandiyan
the
po si Ma'am
certificate
Chanda.
of appreciation, may I call the Associate Dean ng College of Business and Public Administration na Dr. Chanda Ting. Ma'am. Ma'am Chanda.
Wait lang.
Okay. Good. Okay, ma'am.
Huwag na ako mag-open cam kasi I'm busy ngayon talaga.
Okay. So, can you read the certificate of appreciation, ma'am, to be awarded to our beloved Dean, Dr. Willie Gapasi?
Okay, good morning, everyone. This certificate of appreciation is awarded to Dr. Willie O. Gapasin for sharing his valuable knowledge and expertise as a research speaker in the Faculty Development Program webinar with the topic Intensifying Research in Business, given this September 3, 2021 at IRIS, Manila. Signed, Dr. Grant V. Cornell, VP for Research and Extension, Dr. Frederick C. Pena, Vice President for Academic Affairs, and Dr. Edita V. Pilio, President.
Okay, so
Congrats,
a round
sir,
of
and
applause.
Congrats, sir.
Congratulations, Sir Gapasi.
Thank you so much po for your love and support, CBPA family.
Okay, so thank you for staying with us today, and I hope that you have gained a lot of insights from our speaker today, Dr. Willie Ogapasin, and to our guest, Dr. Rogelio Mamaradlo and Dr. Grant V. Cornell. So that's all for today. Before we all say goodbye, so may we request for everyone to open their cameras so that we can have a group photo.
Ana, correction bago mo tapos.
Yes, sir.
Middle initial ko B as in boy.
Okay,
Sorry, sir.
Sorry po.
Sorry po, sir.
Sorry, sir. Slang kasi boy.
Ano ibig sabihin ng boy?
Boy. Open naman po ang camera at pa-heart naman dyan. Ayan, heart naman po tayo lahat.
Heart, everybody, heart.
Heart po. Ayan. Say kimchi.
Kimchi.
Ayan. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for your
Thank
attention.
you.
Thank you so much, Dean. Thank you so much.
Thank you po sa lahat ng speakers.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you sa lahat.
Thank you po.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, sir.
Marami kami natutunan. Nagawa na kami ng research. para sa CNA at PIP pababa.
Tama.
Sir Grant and Sir Mamaradlo.
Okay, thank you so much.
So do we have closing prayer po?